Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into everything you need to know before you travel to Cuba. This isn't just another boring travel guide. We're gonna get real, raw, and straight to the point. Cuba, man, it's a land stuck in time, a vibrant culture, vintage cars, and a whole lot of history. But it's also a place with its own set of rules, its own rhythm. So if you're ready to ditch the tourist traps and experience the real Cuba, buckle up. Let's get started. First things first, you can't just waltz into Cuba. You need a visa. It's not just a formality, it's your entry ticket to this vibrant island nation. Think of it as your golden ticket, a key that unlocks the door to Cuba's rich culture, history, and stunning landscapes. Now, getting a Cuban visa isn't rocket science, but it's not a walk in the park either. It requires some preparation and attention to detail. You'll need to gather the right documents, fill out forms accurately, and be mindful of deadlines. You've got options. You can apply for one through the Cuban embassy, which might involve a bit of waiting and some paperwork. Alternatively, you can snag a tourist card from your airline, often a quicker and more convenient option. Or in certain cases, you can even grab one on arrival. But be cautious, as this option isn't available for everyone and can sometimes lead to unexpected delays. But here's the kicker. Each method has its own set of rules, fees, and processing times. Some might be more expensive but faster, while others could be cheaper but take longer. Trust me, the last thing you want is to be stuck at the airport, dreaming of mojitos and Cuban sandwiches, while your friends are already enjoying the sun and salsa. Do your research, check the latest regulations based on your nationality, and get that visa sorted. Look up the specific requirements for your country, as they can vary widely. You can thank me later. With your visa in hand, you'll be all set to explore Cuba's vibrant streets, historic sites, and beautiful beaches without a hitch. Let's talk about money, or should I say, currencies. In Cuba, the financial landscape is a bit unique. Cuba has two currencies, the Cuban peso, CUP, also known as the moneda nacional, which is primarily used by locals for everyday transactions. And then there's the Cuban convertible peso, CUC, often referred to as tourist money, which is what most visitors will use. Yeah, I know, it's confusing. Imagine having to juggle two different types of money during your trip. The CUC is pegged to the US dollar, making it easier for tourists to understand its value. Meanwhile, the CUP is used mainly by locals for their daily needs. As a visitor, you'll likely be using CUC for most of your transactions, whether you're dining out, shopping, or paying for services. Here's the deal. To get the best exchange rates, always exchange your money at official cadecas or banks. These are government-authorized exchange houses. Avoid exchanging money on the street, no matter how tempting the rates might seem. Street exchangers can be risky, and you might end up with counterfeit bills. Oh, and one more thing. Credit cards, they're not as widely accepted as you might think, especially if you're American. Many places in Cuba operate on a cash-only basis, and American credit cards are often not accepted due to the embargo. So, cash is king in Cuba. Make sure you come prepared with enough cash to cover your expenses, and always keep an eye on your money to avoid any mishaps. So, you've got your visa, you've figured out the currency situation, and you're ready for an adventure. Now let's talk about the best time to hit up this Caribbean paradise. Timing is everything when it comes to making the most of your Cuban getaway. Cuba boasts a tropical climate, meaning it's warm year-round. But there are sweet spots that can make your trip even more enjoyable. The best time to visit is during the dry season. November to April is prime time, baby. This period offers the most pleasant weather with minimal rainfall. Think sunshine, blue skies, and perfect beach weather. It's ideal for sunbathing, swimming, and exploring the vibrant streets of Havana. But hey, if you're on a budget or prefer things a little less crowded, consider the off-season from May to October. During this time, you can find cheaper accommodations and fewer tourists. However, be prepared for some rain, especially during hurricane season. The rainy season can bring heavy showers and occasional storms, but it also has its own charm, with lush landscapes and vibrant greenery. No matter when you go, Pack light clothes, sunscreen, and a hat. These essentials will help you stay comfortable and protected under the Cuban sun. Trust me, that Cuban sun is no joke. It's strong and can be intense. So make sure you're well prepared to enjoy your time in this beautiful country. Now let's talk communication. While you'll find English speakers in touristy areas, knowing some basic Spanish phrases will make your trip infinitely better. Think about it. You'll be able to connect with locals, navigate like a pro, and even haggle for souvenirs. Plus, it shows respect for the culture. Don't worry, you don't need to be fluent. Start with the essentials. Hola, gracias, por favor, cuánto cuesta. Trust me, a little effort goes a long way. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the internet. Cuba's internet access is, well, let's just say it's a little different. Forget about blazing fast Wi-Fi everywhere you go. You'll find it mostly in hotels and designated Wi-Fi zones, and you'll need to buy internet cards to connect. But here's the thing. Embrace the digital detox. Disconnect to reconnect. Soak in the sights, sounds, and experiences without constantly being glued to your phone. Trust me, it's liberating. Cuba is all about embracing the journey, and trust me, the transportation options are an adventure in themselves. First up, the iconic vintage cars. These beauties are like rolling museums, and cruising down the Malecón in one is a must-do. Then you've got the bicitaxis and cocoa taxis. Think bicycle-powered rickshaws and tiny yellow cabs shaped like coconut halves. They're cheap, cheerful, and a fun way to zip around town. For longer distances, hop on a Via Azul bus. They're comfortable, air-conditioned, and connect major cities. Just book your tickets in advance, especially during peak season. Cuba is a country with a rich history, vibrant culture, and warm, welcoming people. But like anywhere you travel, it's important to be respectful and mindful of local customs. First off, dress modestly, especially when visiting religious sites. Pack light, breathable clothing, but leave the revealing outfits at home. Cubans are incredibly friendly and love to chat. Don't be afraid to strike up a conversation, even if you only know a few words of Spanish. Cuba is generally a safe country for travelers, but like anywhere, it's always smart to be aware of your surroundings and take precautions. Stick to well-lit and populated areas, especially at night. Avoid flashing expensive jewelry or large sums of cash. Keep your valuables safe, either in your hotel safe or tucked away securely. And as always, trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. Cuba is a country brimming with history, culture, and breathtaking beauty. From the cobblestone streets of Havana to the pristine beaches of Varadero, there's something for everyone. Get lost in the rhythm of old Havana, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, with its colorful buildings, vintage cars, and lively music scene. Escape to the idyllic beaches of Varadero, where turquoise waters meet powdery white sand. Dive into the crystal-clear waters of Playa Paraíso, consistently ranked among the world's best beaches. No trip to Cuba is complete without indulging in its delicious cuisine. Get ready for a flavor explosion, with dishes influenced by Spanish, African, and Caribbean flavors. Start with ropa vieja, Cuba's national dish. It's a slow-cooked, shredded beef dish that's bursting with flavor. Next up, try some picadillo, a savory ground beef dish simmered with olives, raisins, and spices. And of course, no trip to Cuba is complete without sipping on a refreshing mojito. Made with rum, mint, lime, sugar, and soda water, it's the perfect way to cool down on a hot day. So there you have it, your crash course on traveling to Cuba. From the visa requirements to the currency conundrums, from the must-see spots to the mouth-watering cuisine, you're now armed with the knowledge to plan an epic adventure. Remember, Cuba is a country that gets under your skin. It's a place where time seems to stand still, where music fills the air, and where the people welcome you with open arms. Thanks for watching. If you found these tips helpful, Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more travel guides and tips. Safe travels.